There are huge opportunities with this cold weather coming up and persisting through December. My favorite time to hunt is in December. I love the rut. You can't beat the rut. I love early season, the anticipation of doing all this work, and you can't wait to go out and sit. When it comes this time of year, body's used to the cold. You're used to dressing. We'll talk about that at the end. But really, there's some huge opportunity when it comes to December. And let's face it, it's at a time when there's really not a lot of other people out in the woods. I mean, we're going to go out for muzzleloader. I'm going to go sit this afternoon and sit in a really sneaky spot where I'm going in. It's kind of a bedding staging area, water hole, where buck might hit that. Barry is what I'm hoping as he's going out to food. But I'm looking at like this weather is really dictating what deer do on a daily basis more than ever. And it's because a lot of times it boils down to survival and how much energy a deer is consuming to try to make it through the day, the week, the season, how they're conserving energy and what they need to do to replenish that energy. It really boils around those things: conserving energy, replenishing energy, and really survival. So number one, pre-snow. There's that talk of, a big storm's going to come in. Boy, deer are really going to be on the move. And sometimes they are. They really are on the move sometimes before that big snow is coming in. Deer seem to have something inside them. I think it's wind speed, wind direction, moisture in the air, really how extreme that weather is going to be, because they have a knack for not getting caught out in the middle of a blizzard. But I've seen them many times with wet snow coming down, light snow. They're out there feeding like crazy, and they just know they're not going to get trapped. I don't believe they have any type of indicator in their head other than the moisture feels like this, the winds feel like this, the temperatures feel like this, the wind is coming from this direction, and they know they can get away with being out in the fields and feeding or not. Bottom line is there is a little bit of activity sometimes on the front side of a front coming in, but always remember those deer aren't going to get trapped. So if it's going to be extreme, you might want to stay at home. They're not going to move much. I've seen some extreme weather where deer are moving out of huge wind this time of year in December in Wisconsin to get to the lee side of the ridge. In fact, that was one of my biggest days muzzleloader season. It happened about, I think, 2010. I saw over 40 deer that afternoon. And literally they were going from one side of the hollow to the other side over a saddle in the field simply to get out of the wind. Number two, post-snow advantage. Huge advantage over the pre. Everything's gone through. Deer are locked in. When there's snow coming down, they can't see as well. They can't hear as well. It's very extreme. So they're sitting, and it's cold, obviously, because there's snow. And so they're sitting there losing energy, and they're not replacing it because they're not moving. They're sitting in their beds. They might get up and browse 10 feet, 20 feet, but they're not going out to their favorite oak flat, standing ag field, big hardwood regeneration, clear cutting area on public land. They're really sitting and waiting, and when it breaks, they want to get going and move, and it's a huge advantage. I want to make sure to let you guys know that our friends at QuietKat are offering a major discount for our viewers here on the channel. Just go to the link in the description. It's a giant savings, and it's just in time for Christmas. Always be careful, because if it's a giant wet snow, you have a lot of branches breaking, snow starting to fall off during the day. It's really noisy. As soon as that snow falls off the trees and it gets quiet, they're going to be on the move. Maybe it even gets a little colder, or maybe it gets warmer and it dries all off, comes off. But either way, when all that noise and commotion and stress stops, those deer are going to be on the move. Incredible time to hunt after a snow for various reasons, and you need to be out there. Soft snow, that's something to go by. You have 5-6 days where it's 20s in the high, 20s for a daytime high, and I'm not saying they won't move during that. They're going to really hit afternoon food sources during those times. But boy, that mid-morning daylight really heats up to me when the snow gets soft, meaning it's getting packy. And you really notice a difference between when it's super cold and just frigid and when it gets warm. It's like they feel like kids in a candy store or something. They're running all over the place. They feel comfortable. They're moving. It's easy moving for them. They're not burning a lot of energy while they move compared to when it's 10 degrees, it's 35. So it seems to me like they tend to move during daylight hours when you have that little bit of snow after it follows a bunch of period of freezing and it's been cold for a while. If it's just packy every day, then it really depends on what fronts are moving, what food sources are hitting. It's just more of the same. But when you notice that uptick of warm weather, just like a downtick of really cold weather, they're on the move. That change really helps. That's where they hit that mid-morning browse. So that mid-morning browse can be typical, or very important and critical. That soft snow, awesome. So a lot of times I'm getting close to a bedding area and I want to have that browse. I want to have high stem count. I want to get into a location where deer can browse. Might even be late red oak acorns as opposed to the white oaks that might have been gone in September, early October. Might be some apple trees that are still holding a little bit of fruit here and there. Might be a combination of that. Briars, shrub tips, hardwood regeneration, clear-cut area, diversity, swamp edge, red osier dogwood at the edge of a swamp. We have all those coming together, great daytime browse, and that is critical for them, especially if you're looking for that little bit of warm-up where deer might be moving during the day, or you're coupling all of this with a secondary rut. That afternoon food source is critical. If you don't have a good afternoon food source, whether it's a clear cut on public land, south-facing slope on public land that has a lot of regeneration and stem count, or a great food plot, a standing ag field crop, then especially those mature bucks are going to be gone. But those does and fawns only have their limit at the same time too. They want to find some good food. They just won't move as far. Those mature bucks are going to move a long ways. So really pay attention to that afternoon food source. Either build it on private land, find it on public land. That's why I talk about like public land is just, we go out public land hunt, it's almost relaxing. It's not stressful. Don't have to worry about bumping deer. You just go somewhere else. Don't have to build it. Don't have to spend days and days and days of planning and work. It's more get out and enjoy it, but you're still looking for the same things. You're looking for daytime browse. You're looking for an afternoon food source. You're looking for a good bedding area and unpressured locations to hunt, and you'll find great areas when it gets cold. At afternoon food source is critical right now, more critical than any other time because they're shrinking food sources, and it's cold, and they need to replenish that energy reserve that's being depleted with cold temperatures and snow. And finally, how to stay warm. I'm wearing bibs because we were looking for deer this morning. Jen shot a beautiful buck last night, and we recovered him this morning. And we just need to shoot some videos real quick. So we shot videos, and I'm getting out to the woods. Literally, I might be in my stand within about 20, 25 minutes. And I need to be because it's that time. But bottom line is bibs are critical. They cover your midsection here where you can get your hands in these upper pockets and pouches and keep your hands warm. You can see right here. It's awesome. You get your hands in there. But bottom line is you want that extra padding and protection around your midcore. That's where the bibs come in. Keep our feet layering. I found a difference where I wear my heavy merino wool socks. If I just wear those and I don't wear my mid-weights underneath, my feet definitely get colder. So I need that mid-weight, heavyweight. And then we use the really warm lacrosse boots. I think they're the 1800 or 1600. You remember which ones they're, Dylan? 16 or 18. But they're the Alpha Burleys. Really super warm. And then also, if it's extreme cold, 10 degrees, 15 degrees or less, 20 degrees, we're using the thermal shields. We pull up over them and zip up. I'll put a heat pack right on my toe. Also your head, a lot of times I'm taking a hoodie like this. I'm putting my face mask on, which is a mid-weight face mask. Putting that on, it actually goes over the front of my hat, so I have this nice sturdy brim. I'm putting this over that right there. A lot of times I'm putting a stocking cap on top of this, and then I'm taking the jackets, and they have a hood. So I'll put that hood up if it's super cold and it's blowing on my neck, even if it's I just put it up and down a little bit. And they do take your hearing away. I had it down when I heard a buck coming in Pennsylvania. Dylan was behind me, had it up, and he couldn't hear the buck coming. So he wondered why I was all of a sudden getting up, spinning around, getting ready, because it was either, I thought for sure it was a deer, either a deer or person at that point. But bottom line is your heads, and then we use the hand warmer tubes, which are critical. A couple heat packs in there, light gloves. Sometimes I put my hands right up in here in my bibs. Bottom line, if you keep your hands, your head, your feet, and your core, I'm not saying the jacket doesn't matter, it really does. And then layering. This is a medium weight merino wool. Sometimes it's super cold. I'll wear one of the thin down vests we have over here, over this right here, and then the jacket. Bottom line is head, hands, feet, bibs can stay super warm in the deer stand, which is required for these kind of conditions going in through December. Really check out these snow and cold advantages this year. And take advantage of hunting this time of year. It's a beautiful time of the year. It's a peaceful time, which is probably why I like going out. And that doesn't mean you need to sacrifice any level of success, because this is some of the hottest times to be in the deer woods, even though it's so stinking cold and snowy. Now, I appreciate you guys watching the YouTube channel, but I don't know if everyone knows everything that we have to offer, whether it's on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, our website, or WHS Wildlife Blends, our seed company. Also Instagram you can check out. I'm very active on Instagram, putting strategies on there, photos of what we do every day. Much more active there than Facebook. But our seed, web classes, books, clients, articles. I have over 600 articles on whitetailhabitatsolutions.com, everything whitetail strategy. Of course, we have hats on there, and then make sure to check us out on Instagram again. But lots of stuff to offer. We're always coming out with new things, and this isn't the end of it. We have more things coming soon. Make sure to check us out.